So now moving right along, the last game that we'll be touching up on this podcast is an intriguing matchup, and it's so intriguing that I'm looking at the card. Right, I'm looking at the bookie card. Check out the spreads. Every game there's a favorite by 1.5 all the way to 8.5 points. On this next game that I'm going to break down for you guys,
I just seen this.
Tennessee against Denver. It's a pick'em game. Pick'em game. There's no favorites. There's no points being given. It's a pick'em game. Again, I'm going to give you guys some fucking head-to-head fucking games between Tennessee and Denver. The last 3 matchups between these two ball clubs, Tennessee's 1-2 against the spread, which makes Denver 2-1, right? Listen, the average score between these teams have been Tennessee has been averaging 13.67 points. 13 let's just say 14, okay? Denver's been averaging 25.67 against Tennessee. They're playing at home. They're not going to have the rowdy crowd that they usually have in Denver. So it's going to be neutral there. There were some key additions for Denver during the offseason. They got Casey, the defensive lineman from Tennessee, who's good at stopping the run, and they're going to need that against Tennessee, trust me, because all Tennessee's got is Derrick Henry. Tannehill, I'll give him much respect. He played out of his mind during the last half of the season. He came in, did his thing. Can he duplicate that kind of season? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Look, like I said, there's no home field advantage, but Denver is in Denver, and there is that one thing that you can't ignore, the altitude. Now, these teams haven't had a chance to condition themselves, much less in altitude. Denver's at home. Denver should be acclimated to the altitude. Give me the Denver Broncos. Even if they win by a freaking wet fart, I don't give a damn. Get that ticket, cash your money line, take Denver. Let's go.
You know what, Scorpio? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even think – I was thinking, you know what, there's no home field advantage for any team this year. But you're right. I didn't think about the altitude. The altitude could play a factor, especially early in the season. Keep in mind, there wasn't OTAs, mini camps, none of this. They went straight to training camp, and they've only had really, like a month to prepare. I could see that being a factor now.
Welcome to 5280.
That can be an issue.
5280. Club 5280.
I can see that being an issue. All right, well, listen. The Broncos closed the year out last year, going 4-1 with Drew Lock under center. They added Jerry Jeudy, Melvin Gordon, KJ Hamler. The offense is going to be fast-paced. I think Melvin Gordon is going to bring a different sort of running style than Philip Lindsay had. He's going to be more of the ground and pound kind of guy. He's going to tire you out. And they throw Lindsay in there, and then boom, you get like a little 15-yard gain. I think this team's going to rely heavily on the run week 1. You're not going to see too much airing out, I don't feel like, until later on in the season, because I don't think they've had enough time to go ahead and get that chemistry going. Yeah. But running game, it's going to be on point, I think. I think they'll be able to run over the Titans. And keep in mind, the Titans also lost a lot of weapons on defense. They don't have no more Casey. They don't have no more Logan Ryan.
They did.
The only issue I can see being here is I think the Titans might, be able to have, King Henry give Denver a little bit of fits. Yeah. We'll see how that works for them.
Derrick Henry's the kind of runner that needs 3 to 4 games under his belt to get going.
We'll see. Like you said, we'll see. That's the only thing that does scare me, but I'm not too scared. Keep in mind, these two teams played each other last year. The score was 0-16. Denver shut them out in Denver. This is a completely different team for both sides. So Denver had Joe Flacco, and of course the Titans had Mariota starting that game. Different teams, but keep in mind, against the spread last year, Denver at home 5-3, third best in the NFL at home against the spread. This is an easy pick for me. I think if it's a pick'em game, I like Denver. And I also like the over on this game, fellas. I don't know how you guys feel about the over, but I also like the over 41.
I like the over. I like the over 41 on this game. I think Denver does have a better offense than they did last year. By the way, I'm the one who told them Drew Lock was their quarterback and would be their starting quarterback. They thought they need to shop the draft and get a quarterback in the draft. I said no, you got your quarterback right here.
I'm still not sold on Drew Lock, by the way.
He had a good end of the season last
year.
He
did. He had an impressive season.
So that means what? There's not a lot of film on him, right?
Yeah, right.
So that means he has a more advantage against teams coming into this season.
Right.
But Tennessee, I think they did lose a lot of players on defense, and like you guys mentioned, their defense player went to Denver. But I don't think as that plays a big factor as much playing against your former team week 1, because I know his strengths and weaknesses because he was my teammate last year. Derrick Henry, okay, he likes tackling more on the right side. Okay, let me force the left side now. Maybe make him get uncomfortable. So I feel like that in that sense, Tennessee will read that and they'll pick that up. I don't think there's pretty much no stopping Derrick Henry. I mean, when you have a dead ass running back in NFL, any team, there's like no stopping him, regardless of who you have on your team or whatever. Yeah, some games you will catch him on a bad week, he'll play bad, whatever. But I don't think that's the case. Majority for the running backs this year.
The only thing that'll stop a good running back is injuries, and right now he seems to be healthy. But like I said, I believe that he needs a couple of games under his belt to get going. But you're on to a good thing, there.
Yeah, but I mean, if it is a pick'em game, I mean, it's honestly a toss up. So I feel like it will be close. But for me, I'm gonna pick Tennessee to win this game, just based off experience of these players and everything. So I'm gonna pick Tennessee.